I'm Jed Thomas alongside my partner Haley Buckles as we get set for North Dakota High School volleyball action as the Shanley Deacons get ready to take on the West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs. Well, folks, we got a great game in store for you here tonight between two EDC rivals, the 6-3 Deacons taking on the 4-4 Mustangs. And for more on tonight's game, here's Haley Buckles.
Thanks, Jed. And I want to say right now, leading off, that the Sheyenne versus Shanley has always been a great rivalry game here. And honestly, I think these are two of the best teams in the EDC right now, and I got a feeling it's going to be a great game from both sides of the ball.
Absolutely. As you said, these two teams have had a bit of a rivalry over the last few years. Both have been towards the top of the standings. Should be fun to see what they do here tonight. For now, we're going to send things down to the PA announcer, but don't go anywhere, folks. We got a great night of volleyball action coming up after this.
Good evening and welcome to the McCormick Gym on the campus of Shanley High School for tonight's matchup featuring the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs and your Shanley Deacons. Contestant stand and restrooms are located in the commons of Shanley High School. Smoking is prohibited on the grounds of Shanley High School. That includes the parking lot as well as all other outdoor areas. Thank you for helping us in this matter. At this time, we ask that you please rise as Father Charles McCoy leads us in prayer. And please remain standing as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Thanks and praise be to you, God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, who has bestowed on us in Christ every spiritual blessing in the heavens. And we thank you for the great blessing of being able to gather here today for this competition. We ask you to be with us and watch over us and bless us. Keep the players free from injury and harm. Allow them to play to the best of their ability. Reward them for their efforts. May they enjoy the contest. And let everything we think, say, and do here give you great honor, glory, and praise. We pray all this in your Son, Jesus, by the power of the Holy Spirit. You are God forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Please remain standing for our national anthem sung by senior Alexis Warner.
Don't go anywhere, folks. High school volleyball action is next after a brief word from our sponsors.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Butler Machinery Company, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Form Communications, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, More Engineering, Netrix IT, Northern Improvement Company, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, SANFORD Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Shields All Sports in Fargo, and TCI Insurance.
Good evening, folks, and welcome back to North Dakota High School volleyball action. I'm Jed Thomas, of course, joined by Haley Buckles as we're getting ready for what should be a great game tonight. The Shanley Deacons and the Sheyenne Mustangs, two EDC foes going at it early on in the season here. And you know, Haley, could you tell us some of the players to watch here in tonight's matchup?
Yes, I'd love to. And you were looking at the Cheyenne Mustang team. You're going to want to watch for Shy Weber. She's a libero. She's a 3-year starter. This is her senior year. She's going to be a terror on defense, digging up them balls that we have from outside hitters. And coming back to our Shanley team, one of our key players you want to watch for is Sierra Berg, a senior, 6 foot tall, amazing hitter. And she's also going to be a terror on defense, just like Shy was. She has long arms, being able to get up there and get some blocks on the front row at the Shanley.
Absolutely. You know, Sierra Berg last year joined up with Emily Dietz to form a very formidable front for the Deacons.
Yes.
The two twin towers up there.
Oh, yes.
They really had a fantastic year. Not to take away, though, from the Mustangs, you know, if you look, Olivia DeBrins tonight, the 6-footer up the middle is going to be huge for them. She was a starter last year, if I'm not mistaken, had a great year then and is already off to a good start. So it's looking like we might see some good battles up front right in the net, you know.
I believe we will have some good battles up front. Just like with us, we have another great terror up front. We have some other people that are up in that 6-foot range, you know, 5'11". That'll be great up front, up against Cheyenne. But Cheyenne, just like you said, also have people that are very tall up front. I'm excited to see how we'll do and how we'll, you know, go against them.
Absolutely, should be interesting. Looking over at that Shanley squad, another player to mention there, Julia Vetter, the setter for the Deacons. She was a starter last year, and before her, her sister Andrea was a starter, so a long line of setters. They both played that position. Volleyball really runs in the blood in the Vetter family.
Yes, it does. And even to go down to their younger sister, she is also training to be a upcoming setter in the Shanley Deacon varsity squad. But like you said, Julia's going to have an amazing night. I got a feeling about it. She's had some perfect sets in the past couple of games that she's played. And her and Sierra, I got a feeling, are going to connect well tonight.
All right, should be fun to watch. Some great players in the front and back court for both squads. You know, as we said earlier, looking like it should be a pretty evenly matched game. Two similar teams, similar records here. Shanley has a couple more wins in the overall column, but it's early yet. Really every team still figuring themselves out, so this should be a good early indicator of who stands where in the Eastern Conference.
Yes, it should be. And like I said earlier, these are two teams that have been going at it for a long time. Cheyenne has always had a great volleyball program there, and Shanley, on the other hand, has also had a fantastic program here, winning a state title about 3 or 4 years ago. But I can't wait to see how these two teams are going to go at it tonight. They're both very, very athletic, both on the offensive side and defensive side, back row and front row for both of them as well.
All right, well, we shouldn't have to wait much longer as the starters were just finished being introduced there. Both teams now getting ready to go, getting the court set. I know everyone is excited here for Shanley's home opener, first home game of the season. Cheyenne definitely looking to play spoiler here and dampen that mood. We'll see what they can do. All right. Both teams taking the court here, final preparations going. Get a look at who's out there, the starting 6 for both squads, and you can hear the Shanley student section already fired up and going early in this game. No doubt that will be a big factor here for the home squad. Not to take away from the Mustangs, though, they have traveled well, bringing a large section of their own.
That's right, and Shanley, anytime you play somewhere else at an opposing team, the home team always has that little bit upward advantage, just having that student section, also that fan base there to back you up when anything goes wrong.
No doubt looking to play off that energy will be the Deacons. All right, so the Mustangs will start off serving here. As we get that ball rolled out, it will be Brooke Prohaska back to serve and begin this game. And with that, we're underway as Prohaska's serve immediately taken by Manuel. The set from Vetter, and then the quick spike from Huber. Nicely saved in that backcourt, though, by the Mustangs, and then sent over by Knutson. Manuel there to receive. Vetter again with the set, and the spike!
Hit by Grace Meyer.
What a kill from Meyer. Wow.
Oh, fantastic. And if you look at it with an over first serve, great pass by the sophomore, number 13, Olivia Manuel. Great to see her come out and play varsity.
All right, so it's a 1-0 lead here for the Deacons early on. Huber with a long ball. taken, the set from Prohaska, and then the spike from Knutson met at the front, but it finds its way over, and a quick tying score there for the Mustangs makes it 1-1. A nice response early on.
Yes, it was.
Knutson back to serve now for Sheyenne. Whistle gets it set. And the serve, it's a low one taken by Huber. The set from Vetter, the spike from Berg. And that is just out, a close call, but a smart move by the Mustangs, letting it go.
Be able to expect that connection again, Julia to Sierra all night. I got a feeling that's going to be something we're going to have to watch and key in on.
No doubt the two seniors have a lot of chemistry. Another low serve, but a great dig from Manuel. It, however, goes out of bounds as Heinrich could not get there fast enough. So it's a 3-1 lead for the Mustangs.
You have to give credit to Sheyenne on that one. That was a fantastic fast serve right over the top of the net.
Knutson again keeping them low. It's working though, as that's taken by Heinrich, Huber, and then Vetter. Here comes the set from Prohaska, then the quick spike on the outside from Newton, just in, beautifully placed. A little bit of touch there from Mackenzie Newton.
Yes, it was.
Just kind of a floater.
It's kind of a long tip, actually. It was actually a fantastic play. So, they floated all up, and she put it in the back corner, and that was a point.
Absolutely, she knew what she was doing there. Huber takes, Vetter sets, and then a quick little poke from Berg.
There we go.
And that is a very smart play from Sierra Berg. Just a great play, catches him off guard with a little poke at the front.
That's right, and great response by the senior, being able to use that court sense and skill that she's had in the past couple of years playing at this level.
Cheyenne still holding on to a 4-2 lead as Meyer serves for the Deacons. Prohaska sets, and then the tip is just short. Newton came up a little short on that one. Just didn't quite time the jump right, I think.
Didn't look like she connected with the ball at the top of her jump there. Overall, it was a great set and everything, though.
Meyer serving again for the Deacons, looking to tie things up. A nice dig from Weber will keep that alive. And then the spike from Galdi, taken by Huber, set by Vetter. And then Strope comes in. It's easily dug and saved, though. However, it'll go out of bounds, so the Deacons tie things up.
Jordan Strope, a new addition to the Shanley volleyball team. You're going to have to watch out for her tonight. Number 2 out there. She can swing and can jump. She is going to be a terror.
Absolutely, Strope, a huge addition for the Deacons. Some skirmishing at the front of the net now as Prohaska sets. Galdi spikes, but there to receive is Vetter. Stroup with the set. Berg spikes right down the middle.
Awesome. Great idea by Sierra to go back row and see it when they all float up, just like what Cheyenne did to us. Go back, float them up, hit them in the back row. Easy point.
So Cheyenne started things off with a bit of a run early on. Shanley, though, responding with one of their own to retake the lead 5-4. Myers serve deep in the center. Prohaska with a set very close to the net there. Meyer puts it up, then Berg, and then sent over by Payne. Payne, though, puts a little too much behind it, and that'll tie things up 5-5 with the out-of-bounds ball.
And going back to when Jordan first killed it, you got to watch out for Shy. She had an amazing dig. Absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely, Shea Weber, a defensive stud for the Mustangs. Huber receives, Vetter sets, Berg on the spike, nicely dug and saved. However, that'll go out of bounds.
That was just an all-around good setup by Shanley there. Great pass, great set, and a fantastic finish.
Got to give credit, though, there to Borkhardt. Made a great play to keep it alive, just didn't have a teammate in the vicinity to rescue that one as it was headed out.
Correct.
Galdi sends it over. Taken by Stroup, Vetter, and then Payne. Nicely blocked at the front. Cheyenne setting up, and then a mistimed jump there from Galdi, and that's the second time we've seen that happen to the Mustangs here.
Yes, it is. You know, it might be a factor. Some of those little things like technique can really offset a game like this.
All right, we'll see how they respond as Stroup serves for the Deacons. The set, and then the spike from DeBrins, too much behind it. It goes out of bounds. It's now 8-5 Shanley as they're on a very nice run early on.
Shanley's starting to get the momentum back here after Cheyenne had it in those opening kills.
Stroup with the long serve. That one sent over by Borkhardt and then sent down for the kill by Payne.
Fantastic play by Payne, a 10th grader coming up to get that ball in the middle and hitting it down hard. She snapped through and followed well with her wrist and arm. Perfect.
Stroup will continue to serve here for Shanley. This one a bit shorter than the others, taken by Borkhardt, set, and then trying to poke it over was DeBrins, but it was blocked. And boy, that Shanley front court is looking strong to start things off as Cheyenne takes a timeout.
Man, oh man.
So, you know, Haley, Cheyenne had the momentum early on. They went on a nice run, but now they find themselves down 10-5 on the road early on in the game. If you're West Fargo, what are you doing during this timeout? What adjustments are you trying to make to get yourself back in?
If I was a coach on West Fargo, I would just tell us girls, you know, just kind of settle down, get in the rhythm again. And the sets have been pretty good. It's the timing up to get those tips and sometimes swinging down on that ball. You just got to time those up. Those little technique things can be a game changer. And honestly, it is. The momentum has changed. Shanley's got the ball back, having a couple great serves, playing fantastic at the moment.
Absolutely. Like you said, Cheyenne's been right there. They've had a couple of balls where it looked like they could get some real nice kills, but they just have had a couple of minor errors that have cost them points there. It looks, though, like if Cheyenne can maybe iron out some of these early kinks, get some jitters out, I think they could be right back in this pretty quick.
I agree with you, Jed.
All right, so coming out of that timeout taken by West Fargo, it's still Shanley ball. Jordan Stroup is serving. It's a 10-5 lead for the home team. A nice dig from Weber. Payne puts it right back in her face. She puts it up. Prohaska then with the set, then poked over by Knutson. Myers at home for Shanley. The set, then the spike from Berg. Again, it's Weber there to handle it. Prohaska sets it up. Newton on the spike. Meyer there once again. Stroup over to Berg. Berg has it dug beautifully, but West Fargo cannot get it over the net, and that's another Deacon point. It was a fantastic dig, though, from Knutson. It just came up short.
Yes, it was. And you got to give credit to Weber on that play. Every time there was a swing, she was there to dig it.
Absolutely. Weber there once again to receive that one. Quick set, and then the spike. It goes off of Berg twice, so I believe that'll be Cheyenne point. And you know what? I think they'll get her for a lift, actually.
Yes, it was. It came up, hit her right in the chest, and it rolled down. She tried to bump it up with her forearms, but ended up getting a little too much of the palms on it.
And so West Fargo now getting the serve back. 11-6 the score. They've got a chance to go on a run here and maybe try to tie things up. Mackenzie Newton is back to serve. Newton with a low serve, but it's a fast one. Meyer there to dig it, but then it's sent right back to Stroup. Set from Vetter. Berg on the near side. It's tipped at the line, but kept in by Knutson, and then it heads out of bounds, and it'll be Deacon point. So a huge play there by Shanley to get that ball back, and they'll be serving once again up 12-6.
That was a fantastic setup by Shanley, all the way leading up from when the first opening serve over to when they set it up and passed it down. Got that kill eventually.
Berg with a long serve, too much behind that one. It'll head out of bounds, and so a tough break there for the Deacons. West Fargo, though, happy to get that ball back. They're going to have another opportunity to try to go on a run here. Shea Weber will be serving, or excuse me, she will not be. Instead, it is Lexi Hoffner in the serve. Hoffner with a deeper serve there. Stroup there to take it. Vetter sets. Payne comes in with the spike. Nicely handled by Hoffner. Just about kept in by Newton. Only got one arm on it, though, and it ends up going out of bounds.
Got to give some credit to Cheyenne on that play for number 23, Newton. Not giving up and going out to try to get it when it's past the court. That is going to be a key tonight, and just effort overall. Absolutely
showing hustle there. It was a nice dig from Weber, but it took an awkward bounce. Nobody really knew who was going for it, and it ends up going out of bounds. Shanley up 14-7, continuing to look strong. Payne's ball is low, and it'll be another point for the Deacons as Knutson couldn't quite get underneath that one, and it's 15-7 Shanley.
Fantastic serve.
Another timeout taken here by West Fargo. As you said, Haley, a fantastic serve by the Deacons. Fantastic start to this game. That first timeout Cheyenne took didn't do the trick, I guess, as Shanley holds a 15-7 lead now. Any thoughts, any other adjustments Cheyenne can make here, or is it kind of the same thing as the last time out?
Leading back to what you said, just kind of getting those, jitters out from coming and playing at Shanley. This is a rivalry game between Cheyenne and Shanley, and just getting those jitters out and be able to play loose and have fun out there is something I think they really need to work on. But overall, they're doing great at hustling, getting to that ball, even if they have, a bad pass from the beginning. They're doing fantastic in that aspect.
Absolutely, and sometimes the timeouts don't do the trick. Sometimes it takes this first set to iron that stuff out, and then you can come back in the next one. Obviously, volleyball, it takes 3 sets to win, so there's a lot of game left to be played.
Yes, there is.
We'll see what Cheyenne can do fresh off the timeout. Payne on the serve, a nice dig, then put up in the air by Newton. Knutson going to come across with the spike. Payne there to handle it. Stroup sets it up. Meyer comes across, a little too much behind it, and it'll be Cheyenne ball, or Cheyenne point. Deacons saying they wanted a tip there, but they won't get it.
You know, it's kind of hard to tell. I can see where these line judges and also the net judge can have a hard time seeing. You know, the ball's so fast and going so hard that you can't tell if they tip it or not.
Absolutely, and regardless, that was a real close one, so, you know, tough to make everyone happy on a close call like that. But Shanley responds nicely, and it's Meyer there to get the kill, 16-8.
Meyer coming back off that missed kill she had earlier, and she really, really showed off her power. They're coming through and actually going through the blockers, which was a fantastic show of force by her.
Meyer having a great start to this game and really a great start to the season as a first-time starter for Shanley.
Yes.
17-8 now. Deacons continue this run, and it's Vetter back to serve. Vetter puts it over the net, nicely dug by Weber, but no one home. A miscommunication in the Sheyenne front court will cost them that point and make it 18-8.
Starting to look at this game, the low and fast serves are actually getting to be pretty noticeable on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely, working well for both teams, but right now working a bit better for Shanley. Vetter didn't quite see it coming, able to get to it though, and then Straub and Manuel collide as both try to save it, but it will not go for the Deacons as Sheyenne is going to get the ball back here on that point.
Yes.
18-9, and now West Fargo will have a quick substitution as Brooke Prohaska is back to serve. Deep serve from Prohaska, taken by Manuel, set up by Vetter. Meyer comes across and pushes it over. Prohaska there to receive, quick set, and then the spike from Newton, met at the line, and it goes out of bounds off of Huber. Point, West Fargo.
You know, I got to give credit to the sophomore, number 15. This is probably one of her first years starting, and she had a great serve to start off that. You know, all that momentum coming back over, you maybe get a little more excitement.
Absolutely, as Straub receives that one for the Deacons. Vetter puts it up in the air. Huber pushes over, nicely taken though by Weber. Prohaska then sets it up. Newton spikes it across. It's close, but they'll say it is out of bounds. So close call there, but the Deacons will come away with the point. 19-10. Shanley getting closer to taking this first game. Huber with a deep serve, set from Prohaska, and then a missed spike there. It was Borkhardt coming across, looked like she was just going to give it a little poke, and the timing was off. And that's about the third time we've seen that from Sheyenne. They've been close, they've been right there, but again, they come up just a couple inches off. Huber's ball received, set by Prohaska, then spiked by Knutson. Huber with an athletic play to get there. Vetter sets it up. Berg with the spike. Keeping it alive are the Mustangs, but it'll go out of bounds for another Deacon point. And what a fantastic save there by Hadley Huber to keep that ball alive for Shanley.
Yes, absolutely fantastic. And she also is one of the younger players on the team. She's a sophomore playing varsity her first year. Great way to step up and go get that ball.
Absolutely having a great start to the year. Prohaska on the set, Newton on the spike. That one taken by Heinrich, set, and then spiked by Meyer. Looked like it was going to be blocked, but it ends up falling on the Sheyenne side. It's now 22-10 in favor of the Deacons.
You're starting to notice Meyer's had a lot of power underneath her kills tonight, going through the blockers, not trying to go around them or going line or hitting cross. She's going straight through the blockers.
Absolutely, Meyer looking very strong to start things off. Heinrich there to receive that ball for the Deacons, set from Vetter. Straub with the spike. Kept alive by Knutson and then Hoffner. Prohaska sends it over. Heinrich there for the Deacons. Now put up in the air by Huber. Meyer comes across with some power behind that one. Nicely played by the Sheyenne defense. Newton puts it back. Heinrich right there. Vetter up in the air. Spike from Meyer. This time will it go? Maybe not. A wonderful play to keep it in by Hoffner, and we're still going. Vetter with the set. Berg with the spike, and finally the Deacons come away on a very hard-fought point.
That was a fantastic volley between Sheyenne and Shanley here. You look at Sheyenne, great way to stay in the game and get out there and go get that ball.
23-10, now the score. A deep serve from Huber and a smart play by Sheyenne to let it go. 23-11, it's a tall mountain to climb, but definitely not impossible. We'll see what the Mustangs can do. Just going to have to take it 1 point at a time here in game number 1.
That's right, taking it 1 point at a time, and I think that's what coaches really need to get back to these girls and tell them, you know, just relax and play a little bit. Timing's been off on some of their jumps and trying to kill, but
it's a low serve by Knutson, taken by Huber, set by Vetter. The spike from Straub is blocked. And out of bounds, it's 24-11, and so the Deacons are 1 point away from taking game number 1. Meyer will be back to serve for Shanley here. Meyer with the serve. Quick poke at the line by Sheyenne, able to get it over. Vetter with the set. Berg on the near side comes across, saved. And it looks like a point for the Deacons, and it looks like Sheyenne caught the net there. And so it's 25-11. That'll do it for game number 1. Shanley with a dominating performance here early on.
Shanley looked fantastic in that first match. If you go back and look at Sheyenne and how they played in the first opening, 5 to 6 points, they were doing really well. But after the momentum switched and went to Shanley, starting to get some great serves, some fantastic kills by Grace, showing that power and that overall efficiency when she's hitting the ball. Really, really good.
For sure. And I think it's important to note what you said there headed into this next game. You look at those first few points for Sheyenne, and they looked fantastic. They were doing a great job. They were making Shanley run a bit. They were scoring a lot. And, I'm not really sure what happened. Shanley has kind of flipped a switch there. The Mustangs kind of sat back for a little while, and it ended up costing them. But the important thing to note there is that Sheyenne is more than capable of scoring points in bunches and, potentially taking games. They just have to be consistent with that play they showed early on in game number 1.
Yes, they do. And you got to look at Shanley, showing off that aggressiveness up at the net.
And here we'll take a look at some highlights from that first game. There's Berg with a beautiful spike that was tipped and out of bounds. Really, that Shanley front court in general had a fantastic first game, whether it was Berg, Meyer, you name it.
Yes. And you got to give credit to Julia on having great sets to get it to Berg, and you got to give it to Jordan and all these other girls here playing fantastic right now. Meyer, Julia, all leads back to her having great sets coming off there.
Absolutely, everybody looking really strong for Shanley in that first game. And now, folks, we would like to take a minute to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at ShanleyAthleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member, and anyone can join. So sign up today, the Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. All right, and so about a minute here to go until game number 2 gets underway. And Haley, do you have any expectations here for the second game from both Sheyenne and Shanley, how they play here?
I think Cheyenne's going to have to really fix some of their technique things they've got going on right now. Just getting up to the ball, being efficient, having, those tips, just timing overall. And I hope that they get those fixed, and we'll have another great game on our hand, just like we did the first couple 10, 11 points we had, where it was just a great volleys in between both teams. And Shanley, if they keep up their aggressiveness and overall effort going to the net, I'm not worried that they're going to come out with a W tonight.
All right. Well, we'll see what Sheyenne does here to respond after dropping the first game. As we've said a couple of times, those opening points for the Mustangs were fantastic. If they can recapture that form, the tone of this game is going to change very quickly. We'll see if they can do it, though. Shanley, meanwhile, just going to try to maintain what they were doing. If they can play like they did in that first game, they should be good to go in this second. But we'll see what the Mustangs have in store.
Doesn't look like there was any changes on both sides of the starters at all.
We'll see if that's the right call for both squads here, as I believe the Deacons will serve to start things off in game number 2.
Yes, they will.
It's Julia Vetter, the senior. We've talked a lot about her. She'll be back to serve to start off game number 2. And with that, we start number 2 as that ball is tipped at the net. It actually hits the top of the net, but then a great play by Meyer painting the corner there. Just puts it right where it needs to go. Shanley takes point number 1 of game number 2. Vetter again. This time she goes a lot further back, maybe trying to throw the Mustangs off, changing things up. And that will be a Mustang point, though, as Manuel just tips that ball. And Sheyenne able to tie things up right away.
That was a great play by Sheyenne. Coming off that, long serve, which are kind of hard to track if it goes back in the out-of-bounds line. Setting it up, great set, great kill.
Low serve taken by Heinrich, set by Vetter. Huber comes across with the spike, and oh, Hadley Huber. Deadly accuracy on that one.
The sophomore showing off her accuracy and not being worried about to, step up and play that level at the varsity. She is playing fantastic tonight, having great saves on defense and have some great skills.
Huber with a long serve here, handled by Weber. The set from Prohaska, and then the quick spite. A great dig by Huber, but it goes out of bounds over the Shanley bench, and so it's 2-2. A nice kill there for Borkart.
This is starting to look like the beginning of the first match we had.
Absolutely. If Sheyenne can maintain this form, do what they couldn't do in the first game, it should be a much better game for them, as Vetter makes a great play to keep that one alive. Heinrich just kind of had to take a swing at it from a bad spot, and it goes out of bounds. 3-2 now. Sheyenne takes the lead. Knutson back serving, long serve, received by Heinrich, set by Vetter. Berg spikes and gets the kill to tie things up.
Great court awareness by Berg to look and see that she found the opening in the gap in between the defense there and be able to put the ball directly there. Great accuracy.
All right, 3-3 the score. Grace Meyer will serve. Meyer's ball taken by Knutson, put up in the air by Prohaska, and then Galdi sends it into the net. Tough break there for the Mustangs. Galdi does not get quite enough height behind that one. Meyer with a long serve, was low, it was fast, but it had too much behind it, and so it's 4-4, a back and forth battle here. Back serving is Katie Borkart, the junior for the Mustangs. Low serve, a lot behind it, taken by Meyer, and it took an awkward bounce. It just made it over the net, which made it easy pickings for the Mustangs to put right back in the Deacons' faces.
And number 31, Olivia Dorb, is being one of those people that we said key players to watch up front there, showing off her athleticism and overall height in the middle.
Borkart again on the serve, taken by Huber, set by Stroup, a little poke from Payne, nicely handled by Knutson. There was a host of Mustangs around that ball, but no one quite knew who was going to get it, and that cost them the point, 5-5. Shanley serving.
Great play by Payne on that.
Stroup with the serve, mid-range, set from Prohaska. A great spike and kill there by DeBrins.
Beautiful setup by Sheyenne. Great pass, awesome set, giving it right there, power it down in the middle.
Substitution now here for the Mustangs as Feist checks in, and now Newton is back to serve. 6-5 lead here for West Fargo, looking a lot better here in game number 2. It's a deep serve taken by Meyer, the set from Stroup. Berg at the line with a smart play, kept alive by Galdi. Newton puts it up in the air. Galdi comes across with the spike off of Meyer's hand and out of bounds.
Great effort by Meyer to try to get out there and at least get a hand on that ball to see if she could save it.
In the end, though, too much power from Galdi. Nice recovery after putting one into the net a little earlier.
It looks like Cheyenne's improved on their timing and overall intensity of coming back and hitting those balls. It's a great fix from what we've seen earlier today.
Right, great to see if you're a Cheyenne fan. Newton again with the serve, just makes it over. Payne there to keep it alive. Berg gonna have to poke it across. It was met nicely by the Cheyenne defense, and then Vetter puts it into the net.
Great battle up front from both of the teams. Like we said earlier, this is going to be a battle between up front on the line.
8-3 now the lead for Cheyenne. Looking at a lot stronger, like we said here in game number 2. Newton continuing to serve. Long serve, Stroup there to handle it. The set from Huber. Now Vetter just pokes it across. DeBrins there for West Fargo. Galdi sends it over, and 9-5 now the lead for the Mustangs.
Like I said about this game earlier, aggressiveness and momentum can really change how you play and how you feel going out there. And Cheyenne right now kind of has it.
Newton on a great run here serving for West Fargo. Been changing it up. We'll see what she does here as that ball goes off the arms of Huber and out of bounds. 10-5, and I was just about to say it. Shanley had to be thinking about a timeout, and there it comes. So a huge role reversal here in the second game. It's a 10-5 lead for the Mustangs. A very similar score as in the first game when Cheyenne took the timeout, except things are flipped now. So if you're Shanley, you had a dominant game number 1. You started things off even with West Fargo, but now they've jumped out to a big lead here. How does Shanley respond and try to tie things up?
I think they just got to keep getting aggressive up there at the front of the net. They got to get up. They got to start getting some kills. They're doing really well overall at being aggressive and going after those balls that, you can't really think you can get to. They're doing really well at that in the back row. I think they just got to play a little more loose, get out there and have some more fun.
All right. We'll see if that's the winning formula here for Shanley. They're just trying to get the ball back. Sheyenne continuing a great run of serving. It's Newton who's been serving that ball for them. Newton loads up, fires one off the fingertips of Straub. Great save from Meyer. Straub sends it over. What a huge hustle play there from Grace Meyer. Galdi on the spike, great dig from Huber. The set from Straub, a little poke from Berg. And just like that, the Deacons get the ball back, and it's 10-6.
Look at that. That's what I said earlier about being able to go after that ball and not being scared to go get the ones that you think that might be a little out of play. Great job by Meyer.
Grace Meyer, yeah, really saving the day for Shanley there. And unfortunately for the Deacons, Berg puts that one just out of bounds. And that's the type of thing you really don't want to see happening if you're Shanley. Putting that ball out of bounds, that costs you all the momentum you had going for you.
Missed serves can be a key to a game.
Hoffner puts that one over. Manuel there to receive for the Deacons. Strout then goes up to Huber, and the ball mishandled by Hoffner there. I think it came in at a bit of a lower angle than she was expecting, and she just kind of had to punch it forward.
Great play by Huber, though, to be able to get that misdirection as a setter and hit it over really fast.
Ball received by Weber. Quick set, and spike is blocked by Huber. And wow, back-to-back great plays from the sophomore as she stuffs that ball at the net.
That's what Shanley needs right now, is that excitement. You watch what they celebrate after she got that block. That is what they need. Get the momentum switch, get some good power underneath all their stuff going right now.
And really getting the crowd into it as well. Newton puts that ball up, blocked by
and another one.
Feist ball blocked at the line, and my goodness, Shanley really bouncing back here, led by a strong performance from their front court.
Great job by the front row to get up there and get their hands up and get some blocks.
Payne serving, low, fast one taken by Weber, put up in the air by Newton. Wild ball sent over nicely by Hoffner, but it's out of bounds, and now it's 11-10. The Deacons clawing their way back. That timeout proven to be huge for them.
Yeah, it looks like it's been paying off well, whatever coach said.
1-point game now. Payne continues to serve. Again, a long one. It's close, and they'll say it's in.
Fantastic serve. Those are one of the hardest ones to read being in the back row. To be able to read that and see where the depth of it's going. That's going out or it's going to stay in.
And
awesome.
A huge response here from the Deacons as Sheyenne now forced to take a timeout of their own. We'll get a look at the replay here. Just see how Shanley has fought their way back in this one. And, well, that play not quite representing it. Sheyenne had a great run early on, though, that's for sure. And you just see some of these plays, like right there, it's that play from the front court led by Hadley Huber that's been the difference maker. You see Huber combining with Meyer there for another block. Just a great response from the Deacons, and now Sheyenne going to have a response of their own.
And this is that serve again. You know, see how hard it is for the girls to back to be able to read where that ball's going to go, whether it's going to go out of bounds or stay in bounds. That's exactly what you want from your servers. And it's also known that we have Payne coming back up to get us another great serve.
11-11, it's a tie game. Sheyenne, fresh off that timeout, looking to recapture the momentum they had. This game proving to be a lot closer than the first.
It's great to see how Shanley has, you know, being able to overcome that, you know, being down, you know, having a little, you know, the momentum all over at Cheyenne's side. It's great to see them, you know, overcome that and being able to get back on top.
And on the flip side for West Fargo, a great response here from a very tough loss in set number one. They've come back out. They look great.
Yes, they do.
And that serve goes out of bounds. So Sheyenne now 12-11 the score. They regain that lead. We'll see if they can hold on to it and build. It'll be Weber back serving. Weber's serve low and deep, taken by Payne, set by Vetter, and then Meyer sends it across. Meyer's ball taken by Hoffner, then the set from Newton, then the spike on the near side from Knutson, nicely played by Manuel. Set from Straub, spike from Meyer, tipped at the line, kept alive by Weber, chasing after it is Hoffner, and then it's almost sent over by Knutson. Could not quite get enough power behind it. It goes out of bounds, and the Deacons tie things up.
Great credit to Sheyenne, though. You got to give them some credit on being able to go out and not give up on the play. Like I said, that can be a key to winning a set and losing a set. It's just hustle.
Vetter getting ready to serve here. Low ball from Vetter. Hoffner puts it up in the air. The set from Knutson, and then it's sent over by Borkart. Set from Vetter, spike from Straub. Looked like it was going to be blocked, but it falls on the West Fargo side, 13-12. The Deacons have the lead.
And to start off that play, great dig by Manuel. Fantastic job being able to get that all ball up and get to the setter.
Vetter serves again. Received by Knutson, and then a little fake set there. Great save from Vetter, though. Newton puts it up in the air, the spike, and the kill. It's Feist who gets it and ties it up 13-13, all thanks to number 13 for West Fargo.
That was a great play by West Fargo, but also give credit to Shanley and how they be able to come off that trickery and be aware and have eyes up and be able to get that ball.
Absolutely, Julia Vetter with a tremendous play to keep that alive. Serve handled by Straub and then pushed over by Huber. Set up by Prohaska at the net, and it falls again on the Cheyenne side, 14-13. Now the lead for Shanley.
Bird coming back in here to play up front.
A force to be reckoned with up there.
Yes, she is.
Huber on the serve. Ball set, and then Newton on the near side spikes it low into the net. And that one, unfortunately, for Cheyenne, too low there, just kind of a mishandled ball.
Yeah, a little low of a set, kind of hard to get up and read it and get some power under it.
15-13, the Deacons have a 2-point lead. Huber's ball taken by Hoffner, set by Prohaska. Then the spike on the far side from Knutson. Vetter gonna set it up. Berg, great play to get it over with not a lot of real estate to work with. Prohaska sets this one up. Knutson again on the spike, and Straub couldn't keep it going. Cheyenne makes it a 1-point game.
Cheyenne is doing really well in this set, actually. They're coming off looking like they played like the first set and the first couple points there, but they have maintained this all the way through up to like 15, 16 points.
Yeah, that consistency for Cheyenne has really improved. They've played a lot more like they did in the opening points of the first game here. 16-14 now, Shanley. After that ball goes into the net, Grace Meyer back to serve for the home team. Meyer puts it up. Received, set by Prohaska, and then the spike tipped at the line, and a miscommunication will cost the Deacons the point. 16-15, Cheyenne hanging around.
They're still in this game. This has been a great game, 1-point game. It's exciting to see what's going to happen here at the end of the set.
Yeah, always nice to have a close game here.
Yes, it is.
And great to see the way Cheyenne has improved really by quite a bit from game number 1 to game number 2.
Correct.
Low serve, Huber there to get it, but it's just out of bounds. Nice effort, but it's not quite enough there. Borkhardt back to serve in a tie game now. Low ball from Borkhardt. Huber receives. Straub gonna set, and now Meyer sends it over. Received by Prohaska, set up by Knutson, and then Galdi with a great play cross court, but an even better save from Straub, and now Payne sends it over for the Deacons, and paints the corner to make it 17-16.
Great play by Jordan Straub to keep her head up and be able to see that and track that ball with one hand, be able to get it and keep it on this side of the net for Shanley to use it.
Yeah, Straub with a great play to keep it alive, especially when you consider where Galdi was when she hit that. She went almost
Correct.
horizontally across the net. It was a great play, but like I said, an even better save, and Shanley comes away with the points there. Huber puts this ball up. Straub sets. Berg spikes. Just about blocked, but not enough. And the Deacons make it 18-16.
The power behind Sierra Berg's swing is unbelievable. She hit the blockers and the top of the net and still was able to get it down. Fantastic job by Berg.
That is some serious power. Yes, Haley. And now Straub continuing to serve. That ball received by Newton, put up by Prohaska. Spike on the near side from Galdi is blocked. Able to keep it alive, though, are the Mustangs.
Great
Meyer
save.
gonna receive for the Deacons. The spike from Berg. A great defensive play by Weber. Prohaska sets a little poke. Berg there to save it. It's sent over by Payne, but it's out of bounds. 18-17. And you know, Haley, the big thing I think for Cheyenne in this game is that when they go down by, 2 or 3 points, they don't let it get any further than that. They are keeping this very, very close, not letting Shanley build leads of more than 1 or 2.
That's right, and it all goes back to their defense, having great digs and great communication overall.
Newton with the low serve, handled by Meyer, set by Straub. Vetter with the spike, again handled by the Mustangs. The set and then the spike from Galdi, taken by Berg, and it'll be West Fargo point. And Haley, did you catch that? I'm not quite sure what the call was there.
I didn't catch it. It might have been under the net a little bit by Shanley, but I couldn't see it. I was too busy watching the volley.
Nonetheless, it's a tie game now. Long serve taken by Meyer, set and then spiked by Berg.
Oh my goodness.
Man! Bringing the hammer down, Sierra Berg, the senior. You better check the court for a dent because that thing was flying.
Yes, it was, Jed. Absolutely fantastic serve and great kill by Sierra to come down and hit that ball hard.
19-18, Olivia Manuel serving for the Deacons. Weber there to take it. The set from Newton and the spike from Galby is blocked. Payne and Huber combine, and Shanley's cooking now up 20-18. Two huge momentum plays there. We'll see if they can close it out, though. West Fargo, like we said, is refusing to go away in this.
The sophomore duo getting up there, having their hands up to get that block was key.
And just like that, that serve goes into the net. It's 20-19. It's like we've been saying, West Fargo always staying within a point or two. Here's the thing, though. Can they actually tie it up and take the lead? That's the one thing they haven't been able to do for a while here. It's been close, but they haven't quite been able to build a lead. Maybe now is when they do.
I wouldn't doubt Cheyenne. They've been playing well this set.
Payne pushes it over, taken by Knutson. Bit of a miscommunication. They're able to save it, though. Knutson puts it over, received by Manuel. Straub sets, Huber spikes. Weber there for the Cheyenne defense. The spike blocked, and Shanley makes it 21-19. Again, the front court looking strong.
And up again there in the front was two sophomores playing exceptionally well tonight.
Riley Payne back to serve. It's a low one. Weber right there for Cheyenne. How many times have we seen her getting those low digs? Payne puts it up in the air. Straub sets. Meyer spikes. Tipped at the line. Kept alive by Hoffner. Newton sets. Knutson spikes. Right there is Manuel. Played close to the net nicely by Straub. Huber able to get it over. Newton keeps it in play. Weber sets the spike. Taken by Straub. It's still going. Vetter couldn't get it over, though. And it's Cheyenne point, 21-20. I think Julia Vetter was going for the fake set there and was just going to try to tap it over on the trick play, but it just hits the net and falls back.
That's right. Sometimes trickery is the best way to do it, you know, and especially tight games like this, those little points can mean the world.
So 21-20 the score. A long volley there, but the Deacons did not, were unable to get the point there on that trick play try. So Cheyenne down one, trying to tie it up and
Weber
maybe take the lead. Weber with the serve, deep one received by Manuel, set by Vetter. Meyer coming across with the spike, tipped by Weber out of bounds, 22-20.
I got a feeling we're going to be saying Grace Meyer all night tonight. She has been playing fantastic.
Without a doubt, Grace Meyer has been a key contributor for Shanley. The serve from Vetter into the net, though. Tough break for the Deacons. Back-to-back tough plays there for the senior, who otherwise has had a really stellar performance tonight.
She's been doing really well, actually, tonight. Just a few things, you know, those two things right there. Other than that,
Other than that, though, yeah, absolutely. Cheyenne down one, finding themselves in this situation once again. Prohaska's serve received by Heinrich, set by Vetter. Manuel sends it over, taken by Weber. The set, and then the spike by Newton, tipped and inbounds, 22-22. It's a tie game.
We got a game on our hand here, Jed. Oh my goodness.
Much closer than the first, and that's what you like to see. A great competition here. Cheyenne looking worlds better. Long serve, it's close, but they'll give it to the Deacons, and that's huge. That ball just out of bounds, they'll say. And it's a 1-point lead now for Shanley. Hadley Huber back to serve.
And on that serve, you could hear the fans actually getting into it again. The parent section over here on the Shanley side, which is a key.
The set and then the spike blocked, but kept alive by Weber. Oh my goodness.
Great dig by her. Fantastic way to come off.
Volley still going here. Newton on the near side spikes Huber with a great play of her own, and then it's tipped over, but another great save from the Mustangs. Newton spikes into the net, and it's 23-23. Tremendous play from both sides, but the Mustangs edged the Deacons out on that point. And what a game we've got on our hands.
You're right, Jed. This is fantastic to watch. When you have a close game like this between two great EDC teams, nothing better to be sitting here in the McCormick Gymnasium watching it.
Knutson with the long serve, handled by Huber, set by Vetterberg on the spike, and that'll do
the power behind that.
24-23, and now we got game point here.
The veteran showing her court sense and going to the open gap on the left-hand side on the court. Fantastic play by Sierra.
Grace Meyer back to serve. but a timeout is taken by Sheyenne, I believe.
Yes, it was.
And you got to imagine they're trying to maybe ice Shanley's server here, Grace Meyer, maybe try to get her to think about this big serve here, also get their own game plan set. Strategic timeout here.
You know, if I was the coach over there, I wouldn't be saying well too much. They've been playing fantastic this set. But then, like you said earlier, icing Grace, you know, keeping her, you know, making her think a little bit about, you know, where she is, and, you know, situations-wise in the game.
For sure, just like icing a kicker in football, you know, it's a high-pressure
Yes.
situation. You get them to think about it, and we'll see what happens here. We'll see if that timeout pays off. 24-23, once again the score. Shanley has a chance to make this 2-0. Sheyenne, on the other hand, has an opportunity to tie things up 1 game apiece.
I think the key you're going to have to watch here is Weber. Watching on her, she's had some fantastic dids these last couple of points. She might be the key between this right now.
We'll see if that's the case. Meyer back to serve. We'll see if the timeout affected her. Long serve. It's mishandled a little, and the point goes to the Deacons. They'll call a lift.
Oh, my goodness.
And that is not the way you want that point to go if you're Sheyenne. You just took the timeout. Huge point there, and you never want to end it on a penalty that costs you.
You don't.
It's just a tough break, though, in what was otherwise a tremendous set from Sheyenne. I mean, just playing fantastic there as we get a look at some of the great plays from game number 2.
And Grace did a fantastic job by just keeping relaxed and being able to get a great serve off that. And as you can tell, you got a double hit, or a lift, actually, and led to the game-winning point.
Sheyenne perhaps maybe icing themselves there with the timeout. You never know. But, you know, like we said, Sheyenne looked so good in that game. I mean, they were right in that the whole time. It was always a 1 or 2 point difference or tied, or, you know, Sheyenne even had the lead throughout some of that game. So you're down 2-0, but headed into this 3rd game, you've got to be at your most confident, I think, all night.
Yes, you do. And, you know, the game-winning match, and the game-winning set is always one where you have to be ready mentally and physically. And I'm not going to look back down on Sheyenne. They're doing really well, actually, right now. They came off, you know, a slow set 1, set 2, great. I think they could bring some of that into set 3, and we'll have another great game on our hands. But Shanley has been playing fantastic. Even if they were down a little bit, you know, by 1 to 2 points to Sheyenne, they've been able to come out of that and get on top again by great plays.
Absolutely, Sheyenne just looking so much better in that game, and if they continue to improve at the same rate, well, they should have a fun game 3. We'll see, though. And now, once again, folks, we want to take a minute to remind you Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathletic.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. And folks, you know, once again, we encourage you to check out the Shanley Athletic Club. Such a great organization. If it weren't for them, we would not be able to do what they do. Their generosity has made our broadcast possible. So go check them out. They're doing great things over there.
And they're doing great things for everyone here at Shanley, not only in just volleyball aspect, for everything. You know, you look at football, you look at track, you look at cross country, for example. A lot of people don't look at cross country and other different sports like that, but they still are here, and they might not be as big as, you know, these events. But the Shanley Athletic Club is showing great, great stuff for them.
Right, so go check them out, doing good things. Just a couple of seconds left here before we get to game number 3. It's a 2-0 lead for the Deacons. And Haley, before we get this going, you know, anything if you're Sheyenne, any adjustments you make, or do you just keep doing what you were doing? Because they were pretty darn close in game number 2.
I try to say, you know, stay the way that you played in set 2. They were playing really well, actually, absolutely fantastic. Coming off, you know, that low set 1 like we talked about earlier. You know, the first couple 5, 6 points were great. And other than that, kind of dipped down into a valley. But they came out of it, and they're kind of rolling on top now for themselves.
All right, so the Mustangs will start off serving here. One thing can be said, they've started every game off well. Even in that first set where they didn't quite do as well, they started off tremendously, and that was the same situation in game number 2, so we'll see if they can do the same thing here in number 3 as we're underway. A great dig there from Strout, but it goes out of bounds, and it's a 1-0 lead. Good way to start if you're Sheyenne.
Great opening serve by her. Fantastic.
That's Prohaska, the junior back there, serving for Cheyenne. And this time, though, a little too much behind it, so it evens things up 1-1. Fortunate break for the Deacons. Tough to swallow for Cheyenne. Starting off with some momentum there. Just put a little too much behind that serve. Hadley Huber back to serve for the Deacons. Received by Weber. The set and then the spike at the line. Handled nicely by Julia Vetter. Straub sets. Meyer spikes. It's blocked, but Huber's there to take it for Shanley. Berg tries. It's saved. And now a whistle. And it looks like she hit the net there. Yes, that is the call. And a shout out to our rules aficionado, Mrs. Mack, for always keeping us informed on what's going on down there when we're not quite sure. So we get back into it as that ball goes into the net for the Mustangs. And it is now 3-1 Shanley. A great start here for the Deacons.
Shanley's keeping up that energy and keeping a little momentum going into this third match.
Deep serve. And then a little poke from Newton. A great little play there. She knows that Shanley's getting ready for a big spike there and just decides to give a little tap over the net. Works out, makes it a 1-point game.
They use our aggressiveness to their advantage. We come up and try to get that block off the net, and she just tips it, and right there it goes down.
Right, the Deacons getting a little antsy. Cheyenne capitalizes. From Smith, a little too far to the right there, and so it's 4-2 now, Shanley.
Great job by Natalie Heiner to launch that ball all the way out to the line and actually get her foot down on the line, so they don't have to worry about, tracking that ball. They follow it all the way through.
Meyer's serve received by Smith, put up in the air, and then sent over. Weber was the one to send it over, but it goes out of bounds, too much behind. 5-2, the score is as good as the previous two games. They, of course, started off with a 1-0 lead, but the Deacons have come back very nicely, and just like that, it's 6-2 on the block.
And Sierra Burke getting up there and using her height to her advantage. Those long arms, getting out to get a block and put that down on the Cheyenne side.
Absolutely, that front court, had to be maybe in the back of the minds of the Shanley coaches, a bit of a area of concern. They lost Emily Dietz, a 6'3" powerhouse. Kylie Conwisher, another tall, athletic player up there for the Deacons. But I'd say, with Sierra Bird coming back and these other girls, they've filled that void very nicely.
And Sierra's actually doing really well, actually kind of mentoring the younger girls to come up and be aggressive up there at the front of the net.
Berg has been doing it for a long time, and she's been doing it well, passing some of that now. Front play from them, and that's Dobrins, who has had a tremendous... it's just been those little things, those serves that have gone out of bounds, those mistimed jumps that have kind of cost Cheyenne here. Other than that, though, they've looked really strong for most of the night.
That's right, Jed. Just sometimes the little things can lead to, 1 point here, 2 points there. That's going to lead to, maybe a loss in a set.
A nice volley here from both sides as Prohaska puts that one up. Newton sends it over, and Huber just kind of miffs on that one. Didn't quite get enough behind it. Not much she could do there once it happened.
Those things you just can't really, time or be ready for. Things happen. It is what it is.
Got to move on. That's the key. Got to have a short memory.
Correct.
Newton serving. It's a 2-point lead for the Deacons. Low serve, fast one. Meyer there to get it. The set from Straub, and then the spike from Berg. Oh! Sierra Berg just unleashes the cannon there, and with deadly accuracy, too. That's the thing. When you can combine her power with that accuracy, it makes for a deadly player.
It is a scary opponent to go against. You have power and accuracy built in the one machine. Oh, my goodness.
The Deacons receive and then try to respond as Payne spikes that one. A great save, though, by Newton. Set from Straub, and now Vetter comes across with a little tap there. Weber there for the Mustangs. Quick set, and then the spike from Galdi. No one in the middle of the court. The Deacons leave a gap on defense, and Caitlin Galdi exploits it.
Great vision by her to be able to see the gap in our defense there and be able to put a ball directly there with that accuracy.
Lexi Hoffner is back to serve. Low serve from Hoffner. Straub there for Shanley. Vetter sets it up. Payne comes across, and Riley Payne showing some good accuracy there right in the middle of the Cheyenne defense. Big hole in the middle there. She exploits it, kind of like what Galdi did on the play previous.
Correct.
9-6 the lead for Shanley. Riley Payne will serve. Waiting for this to get set. We hear the whistle. And now Payne serves low and fast, taken by Weber, set by Newton. The spike from Smith, blocked partially. and then kept alive by the Deacons. Manuel sends it over, but there's too much on that one, out of bounds. 2-point lead for the Deacons still, but West Fargo will be serving.
It's kind of been, you know, you look at everything, you know, Sheyenne goes up maybe by 1 to 2 points, you know, gets a little momentum going, and you either have like a missed serve or, you know, in the net, or just kind of having one of those nights.
Right, and you know, the key thing that's really continued from game number 2 into game number 3, even when they go down, they're not letting it last very long.
No.
They're keeping this 1, 2, 3-point game. They're not letting things get out of hand, which is huge, because just if you keep it close, you get one big run, and all of a sudden you're in the lead.
Correct.
Vetter serving for the Deacons after winning that point. Quick set from Newton, not intended to go over, but
Great
it'll
save.
work. Weber puts it over the net for the Mustangs. Set from Vetter, the spike from Meyer, and just kind of an awkward jump there, ends up putting it into the net.
Great save by Strout there to kind of keep it back up, and a lot of, you know, Shanley to use that ball a little more, you know, get a good setup for it, and kind of a bummer that I went into the net, but it is what it is.
Prohaska is serving for West Fargo Cheyenne. Low fastball. Right there was Manuel, and then it takes an odd bounce off of the rafters, and you know, that's just kind of the name of the game. Sometimes you hit a ball up into the ceiling and there's not much you can do.
And if you look in the scene, you can actually see there's a couple of volleyballs stuck in there, actually.
Prohaska again with the low serve, keeping the Deacons on their toes. Huber gonna send it over, nice ball, but nice reception there by Hoffner. Ball partially blocked at the line, but it will not go for the Deacons. 10-10, we got a tie game.
Yes, we do, and it looked like a little miscommunication there on the Shanley side, but
Prohaska with the low serve, Payne there, Vetter chases it, and you know, good effort from Vetter there, but not much she could do.
No.
Just kind of in a bad spot.
I don't know if you guys can hear it on the actual monitor at home, but the Shanley student section is getting into it every time you hear them serve. You might hear it right here.
Low serve, Manuel is there, Vetter puts it up, took a bit of an odd bounce there, but it'll work.
The senior is showing out that she can come out and play tonight. Great way to lay out and get that ball up.
11-11 the score, and now in the building, the good luck charm of Shanley Sports, Father Slattery, always known to get the student section and the crowd going.
The one and only.
That's a big factor for the Deacons in this home court advantage. And that ball goes out of bounds. Mustangs wanted a tip there, but they won't get it. It's 12-11, and that was close. The Deacons will come away with the point, though.
They're still arguing about the tip over there on the sideline, if you can't notice.
And you know, it was really close. You can see, you can really see the Cheyenne argument there. At the end of the day, though, it's a judgment call.
That's right.
And when it's happening in real time, it is very tough. Cross for Cheyenne. 11 now.
Berg has been great up front tonight, being able to get up and get those blocks. She's got to have at least 5 or 6 she's gotten down already.
She has been great for Shanley. Ball received by Newton, set by Prohaska. And then that spike taken by Vetter. The set, the spike from Meyer. Great save from Hoffner. My goodness. Sent back over by Newton. Stroup there for Shanley. Quick set, then a little tap from Berg, pushed right back. Stroup gonna set it up. Berg gonna try again. This time it works.
Powered down by Berg.
14-11 the score in favor of the Deacons. And now we got a timeout taken by the Mustangs. So Shanley holding a 3-point lead here. It's been a back and forth game number 3, but the Deacons have held the edge for most of it. Haley, if you're Cheyenne, what are you doing here on this timeout to try to adjust your game plan so you don't end up with a repeat of game number 2? A close game, but a loss.
I think, you know, they've been playing really well in this game, actually. You know, there's just a few things here and there that, you know, just didn't go their way. Overall, I don't think I would change much. Their defense has been playing well. Weber's had some great saves, and overall, they've been doing fantastic.
Yeah, you know, I tend to agree with you there. If they can just continue to play the way they've played, if they can just get a couple of bounces, that's what it's really come down to.
Yes.
That's the name of the game. If they just keep playing solid like they are, eventually they'll get some of those bounces. And, you know, I guess we'll just see what the big factor will be here, what separates these two teams that have been very close.
It is great to see, you know, all the fans and student sections getting into it here at the game now. You got a close game, the students getting into it, the parents all getting excited for the game. It's great to see here.
Real good environment.
Yes, it is.
Huber serving for the Deacons after that Mustang timeout. Weber receives, ball set, and then spiked over by Smith. Set from Vetter here for the Deacons. Meyer goes cross court, easily received by Weber. Set up by Prohaska. Smith with a little tap, but she's blocked by Berg. Once again, Sierra Berg making her presence known at the net. Whistle here as Cheyenne will substitute quick. Some confusion, but now Knudsen will check in. Huber's serve, taken by Weber, set by Prohaska. Quick tap at the line, and it was a great play there from Payne. Good effort, but could not get that ball in the air, so 15-12 now the score.
As you can see, she came from all the way from the back row and came up and tried to get that ball. Like I said earlier, aggressiveness and not giving up on the play is key to a lot of things.
Knudsen with the low serve, received by Huber. Vetter sets it up. Now Straupel spike. She's blocked, but able to get back to it. Vetter sets it up. Try number 2. This time it's Meyer. That ball received by Knudsen. The set, and then the spike from Galdi. Vetter is there, but it's mishandled off her fingertips. And Huber could not chase it down. 15-13. West Fargo trying to work their way back.
Straub did a good job of being able to rebound off that block serve and try to get something more out of the Shanley, see if we can get another kill out of it.
Knudsen serving low serve. Meyer with a great play to keep that ball going. Berg just taps it over. Prohaska keeps it alive for Cheyenne. Galdi spikes, mishandled by the Deacons. 15-14. We got a close game going here in game number 3.
Like you said earlier, Cheyenne, you can never let them get to, they are fantastic at being able to keep, 3 to 2 3-point game.
Knudsen again with the low serve. Huber is there. Now Meyer will send it over after the set from Berg. Prohaska sets up. Borkhardt with the spike off the hand of Payne. And we got a tie game, 15-15.
Great job by Cheyenne. They're holding their composure well, playing loose. Looks like they're doing pretty well now in the midway through this second set.
Knudsen will continue to serve. She's had a nice night serving for West Fargo. Straub sets, Meyer spikes, a bit too much behind that one, and a good read by West Fargo, not chasing.
The back row did a fantastic job in reading that ball and being able to see that it's going to go out of bounds, so they just let it go.
And now for the first time in a little while, Cheyenne has got a lead, 16-15. Let's see if they can build. Knudsen, low serve, Huber there in a nick of time. Set up by Vetter, spike by Berg. Payne receives, keeps it going. Berg gonna try again. This time it gets there, and it's a tie game once again.
I think a lot of the credit to that, point there went to the student section here. They were actually at a chant going midway through that set and that volley. Again, excitement, getting everyone happy and out there playing well.
Meyer's ball received, set by Prohaska, and then just barely poked over there by Newton. A great play. That ball goes off the vent in the ceiling. Payne able to get it over, though. Hey, whatever works. Payne now sets this one up. Berg sends it over, trying to exploit the gap in the defense, but Weber says no. Ball sent over by Galdi, received by Meyer, set by Strout. Berg comes over, pokes it, still kept alive and over the net.
Great volley, here we go.
What a play, Berg. Tipped and out of bounds. That's a point for the Deacons. They got a 1-point lead now.
They had to work for that point, though. You got to look at Cheyenne's defense, being able to get those tips and overall playing well and getting on the ground for those balls.
17-16 the score in game number 3. Meyer with the low ball, received, set by Prohaska. Galdi spikes, it's tipped, and it could not be kept alive. Good effort, though, from Meyer.
Great job by Meyer to try to dive out and try to see if she can get a hand underneath that ball and get it up. Maybe she can give it to Huber, set it up, play, get a good set and everything. It was a great job by her trying to get it.
Borkhardt is back to serve now for Cheyenne. Low serve handled by Huber, and it'll go out of bounds. It takes an awkward bounce off the arms of Hadley Huber. 18-17 now the score in favor of the visitors. Cheyenne starting to flip the script on Shanley here.
Yes, they are. And going back to set 2, Cheyenne getting that lead and having a little momentum change. They're starting to get some good breaks here.
Huber receives, Straub just pushes it over, trying to be opportunistic there, won't go. Newton puts it over the net, Payne handles it, and it'll be a point for Cheyenne. They'll call a lift on the Deacons. 19-17 the score now. It's a 2-point lead.
Yes, it is.
Coach Johnson got to be thinking about a timeout here for Shanley.
Yeah.
Borkhardt's ball sent over, Vetter receives, set by Straub, the spike from Berg. Too much behind that one. And the timeout now called.
Timeout taken, yes.
And, you know, I think that's a wise move here, Haley. Cheyenne has hit that 20-point mark. They're just 5 points away from closing this game out, or closing this game number 3 out. Shanley here, they led through most of this third game, obviously led through games 1 and 2, but now Cheyenne has really turned things around. And Haley, what do you think has been the difference here for Cheyenne in game number 3?
I really think, you know, when they get like 1 to 2 of those breaks and get some points off of those, the momentum just switches for them. They get a lot more aggressive. They're hitting well. Everything seems lined up, and their defense has been fantastic tonight. I can't argue anything against their defense. Both sides have been great, but Cheyenne, you know, they've been playing really well.
All right, so game number 3 starting to trend in the way of the Mustangs. The Deacons take the timeout to try to stop the bleeding. We'll see if it works here as Katie Borkart is back to serve. Borkart on the serve, it's taken by Meyer. The set from Stroup, the spike from Berg. That ball is tipped, set by Prohaska, and then spiked by Galdi. And that's out of bounds. Deacon point. They're within 2 now.
A little long by Cheyenne on that hit, but then again, you can't underestimate them. They've been down, they've been up here before, and they know how to recover from this.
Stroup is back to serve for Shanley. Long serve taken by Knutson, set by Prohaska. And then a miscommunication on the Cheyenne front court, but the ball does make it over. Weber puts it up in the air. Galdi sends it over. Stroup there for Shanley. Better sets. Berg spikes blocked. Payne sends it over.
Payne with the save. I don't think that was planned at all.
A tremendous play from Payne. Haley, I think you're right. Riley Payne just says, why not? Takes a little shot at it, and it works out.
Hey, I'm not going to complain with it. A point is a point either way.
Absolutely. And so now 20-19 the lead for Cheyenne. Shanley trying to tie things up. Set by Prohaska. Galdi spikes. It's tipped at the line. Berg sets it up. Stroup over to Vetter, and it's handled again by Weber. Prohaska sets. Berg there for Shanley. Payne to Berg. The spike is good off the hands of Weber. 20-20. It's a tie game.
Great job by Weber being able to come up and get some power underneath that ball and get it down fast. Not to sail it over, but to get it down fast, right in front of Weber.
Stroup, short serve, put up in the air by Prohaska. Galdi spikes. Meyer right there to take it, though. Stroup sets it up. Berg tries, and it is just in. Shanley jumps out to a 21-20 lead, and my goodness, have things really changed since that timeout. The Deacons looking a lot better after catching their breath there with that timeout.
A lot of inspiration must have came from Coach Johnson.
Set from Prohaska. Down the near side, Newton went for it. It was blocked, able to get it over, and they'll say it's Deacon point. A lift called against the Mustangs. 22-20 now the score. Shanley 3 points away.
Up front at the net, like we said all night, a tear from Sierra Berg and Riley Payne. Now the momentum is in Shanley's hands. Can't wait to see if they can finish out this game.
And so now it's the Mustangs who called the timeout here. Worked well for Shanley, and West Fargo hoping it'll do the same for them. They went from a 3-point lead now to being down 2, and they're in 3 points away from being done tonight. 3 points away from getting swept 3 games to none.
Yes.
So got to be some desperation in their game here. A good type of desperation, though.
Yes.
You know, the type you want. We'll see if that's enough, though, to push them over the edge, down 2.
You know, and Cheyenne has been in this situation, you know, a lot tonight, down 2, and they come back and they actually get up, you know, by 3 to 4 points. And I'm not going to say anything bad about Cheyenne because you never know. They've had great defense, you know, great times overall, but look at the student section then getting into it. I don't know if you can hear it over there on your monitors, but that's going to be hard to play with that.
All right, well, we'll see if that's a deciding factor here for the Deacons. Up 22-20, Stroup continuing to serve. Long ball from Stroup, taken by Knutson, put up by Prohaska. Galdi tried to get it over, it was blocked, and they'll say it's a Deacon point. And Haley, did you catch what that was?
She went underneath the net. The set was actually a little long over the net, and she had to go underneath it to get it, and it was kind of, you know, one of those breaks between Cheyenne. It could be the difference between the game.
Stroup changes it up with a long serve. Weber's ball just barely kept alive by Knutson, and what a play!
Great job by Cheyenne to keep that alive.
Newton kept it going, but not for long. It is 24-20, and all the credit in the world there to Cheyenne and to Mackenzie Newton. A great gritty play, but ultimately the Deacons get that point. They are 1 point away now.
And here comes the chance from the Shanley parents and fans for the last point.
Weber able to receive the set, then the spike handled by Stroup. Vetter sets it up for the Deacons. Berg on the spike, it's blocked. Meyer kept it alive, a whistle, and it'll go to the Mustangs. They'll call a lift on the Deacons. So don't put dirt on their grave just yet. Sheyenne fighting back in this one.
A double hit there by Riley Payne. Not much you can do about it though, coming off of, trying to get that ball up, and it just has a different bounce off the arms and hits you back in the chest.
Newton on the serve, low, taken by Meyer, takes a high bounce into the air. Berg puts it back in play for the Deacons. Meyer sends it over. Knutson puts it up, then Feist over to Galdi. Galdi's ball taken by Huber. Huber up to Stroup. The spike is blocked. It's close. No indication. Still waiting, and now we're gonna have a little conference here.
The line judge is coming in to see that ball was so close on the line that you can't tell. And just to let everyone know at home that if the ball does hit the line, it is still considered in. It has to be fully outside of that line to be considered out.
So an absolutely huge call here from the referees. And they'll give it to the Deacons. That appears to be the end. Okay, they'll give it to the Mustangs.
It back.
It's changed up. Some confusion, some suspense there, but ultimately it's 24-22 in favor of the Deacons. Sheyenne continues to fight back.
Very hard for the refs here. Very tight game. You're gonna have to be crucial with these calls.
Newton's ball received by Stroup. The set, then the spike from Payne. It's tipped, it's headed out, and that'll do it,
folks.
The Deacons take it 25-22 in game number 3. 3 games to none, and boy, did Sheyenne give them a fight, especially in this 3rd game. The Mustangs 2 and 3. And Haley, what do you think ended up being the difference here for Shanley?
I think Shanley just had that little bit more motivation and a little bit more of, the home court and the parents and the students, everyone being here to give you that little bit of boost and energy and be able to get out there and play really well. And Sheyenne did a fantastic job. They had great aggression, awesome defense led by Weber. Great job as a libero. As you can tell, she's going to be one of the best liberos in the EDC. Just by watching this game, she did a great job.
Definitely, home court advantage always has a big factor, especially in close games, and you got to wonder if that was a factor here tonight. In the end, the Deacons come away with a win. It's 3-0 on the scorecard, 3 games to none, but I tell you what, it was a very close game. I think closer than that 3-0 reflects. Got to give so much credit to Sheyenne for a crazy, well-fought game.
Yes, you do.
Really shown a lot of grit down the line. Came back, really came close to winning game number 3 and game number 2. In the end, though, the Deacons are able to edge out the Mustangs. They move to 7-3. The Mustangs, meanwhile, go to 4-5. Early in the season, though, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of these 2 teams going forward.
I agree. Overall, both teams did very well. Great aggression, great defense from both. And, Shanley just had to come away with the win tonight.
Well, for tonight, for Haley Buckles and for our entire crew, I'm Jed Thomas. Your final score from Fargo, Shanley Deacons 3, Sheyenne Mustangs 0. To watch the archived version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to ShanleyTV.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.